Welcome to Never Enough Time. We are going to tackle something called a dress watch. I have not done a dress watch before. I'm excited to give it a try. This isn't my typical area of interest for watches, but I think we have a pretty good value-packed dress watch here. Let's take a look at it.
Across the river, there's a woman I know. Sometimes I go there and I knock on her door. I said, baby, 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 let's waste some time.
So the Orient comes in very humble packaging, which I always appreciate or enjoy. They are under the Seiko umbrella, as many of you would know. The retail price on this right now on their website's $180, and I think you get an awful lot of watch, especially if you're looking for a budget-oriented dress watch. So let's get into the Orient here. We have an interesting, I think this is a great budget, affordable dress watch. So if that's what you're looking for, hang with me here. I think it could also be an everyday piece. But you have a 41 millimeter case by 48 lug to lug, 12 millimeter thick. It is stainless steel construction. We do have polishing around the fixed bezel and around the sides of the watch as well. On the back, you do have a display case back of the Orient F6722. It is hacking, hand winding, and a 40-hour power reserve. You get 50 millimeters. I always say millimeters. I don't know why. You get 50 meters of water resistance. You have a flat mineral crystal on the front, excuse me, and on the back. And the mineral crystal is one of the cost-saving issues you have on the watch. The other is the bracelet. It is a mix of brush and polishing on the bracelet here, but you have a cheap pressed clasp. You do have the Orient branding here. You only have two micro adjustments. It's a push pin construction and folded end link. So that's kind of the budget choices on this watch. A cheaper bracelet and mineral on the crystal. But on the flip side, you are getting a very excellent glossy black dial, silver applied indices, silver handset. What I think is that very cool Orient branding under the 6. Just the simple words water resist, which I wish they hadn't, like, it's only 50 meters. I don't know why they have to say water resist. I'd be okay if nothing was there actually to even make the dial a little cleaner. So minor niggle, but I'm not sure why the word water resist is on there. You do have that white framed date wheel at 3 o'clock. Just a great looking watch. And that's kind of what Orient's forte is, I think, when you look at their affordable dress line. These are watches that look more expensive than they are. And for me, I do not wear dress watches very often. I mean, look at me. I'm wearing a Captain America t-shirt, probably even scrunched up. My wife will say, straighten that thing out when you do a video. Look, every now and again, I like to feel fancy too. Put on a dress watch, take the wife out for a nice night on the town. But as someone who looks at their collection and has a fixed dollar amount that he's going to apply to the different categories, and I collect watches a little bit differently. I might share that sometime. I don't like to allocate a ton of money to a dress watch. I just don't wear it that often. So I'm very appreciative that you get something under $200 that's automatic, in-house, applied indices, great looking dial. Yes, mineral, that's okay by me. I'm not going to wear it a lot. I'll accept that. The bracelet, you know, honestly, I take this bracelet off and put on a very nice black leather strap, and it's killer with this black silver combo. So who would be looking for something like this? Well, if you're like me and you don't want to allocate a ton of money to a dress watch, but you kind of want to have one in your collection, it gives you that more rounded feeling. This is right in the ballpark. I mean, under $200, I don't know how you're going to do better than that. I would also say it can be an everyday watch. When we take a look at how this watch wears, I'll take off my Cordura Seagull. This is a 1970s era watch, and I'll probably do a review on this because It's a pretty fun watch, and I've had fun learning about it, so maybe more to come on that. But on my 8.25-inch wrist, it wears very nicely. Now, who might this watch not be for? If you're someone who really likes very traditional and classic proportions when it comes to a dress watch, I think this is big. Typically your dress watch, right, you might want in your 36, 38 millimeter, maybe 9, 10 millimeters thick, a little bit smaller on the lug to lug. This has a decent wrist presence. And, you know, if you look at it here on my wife's 6.25-inch wrist, if you're under 7-inch wrist, I don't know what you'd feel about a wristwatch that's kind of dominating your wrist. I don't have rules here in the wristwatch love covenant. That is called Never Enough Time. But it's just something to be aware of, that if you have, I would say, under 7-inch wrists and you do like a more classic proportions for that size wrist, I don't think this would hit the spot for you. But I think everyone else, it looks great. And again, it's a classic design for an everyday piece. Automatic watch, 50 meters of water resistance is probably just fine for most on everyday watches. So my verdict on this is pretty positive. We'll be doing some more Orients down the road. I think they have some very compelling, affordable watches that pack a lot in for the price. And I think this is no exception. So if you're looking for rounding out your collection, you don't want to allocate a ton of resources, give Orient a look. I mean, they have the Bambino and they have other lines. I was a fan of the Symphony III here. The actual model number is the RA-AC0F01B10A. Orient Symphony III, you'll find it. Hey, if you don't mind, make a guy's day, make a common man's day. Just give a like, a thumbs up, a subscribe. We're just trying to have fun. We don't take ourselves seriously. We have a very laid-back approach to the world of watches, but we do enjoy acquiring them, researching them, wearing them, getting a sense, passing that on to you, and moving on to the next watch. So thanks for hanging out for a few moments with me, talking some watches. I hope to see you again soon. God bless.